now proudly presented on SNME. That's Sunday night's main event, Patreon and free feed.
Whenever born, new grooves in the latest news. Complex and interesting, take the time out to invest in straight talk wrestling. Get the facts, get the tables, get the racks, get the stage.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your host, your boy George Mackay, back here again for another episode of Straight Talk Wrestling, and I got a good one. I got a returning guest, one of my favorite people in pro wrestling, the Kick Demon herself, the newest member of Contra, the inside woman, if you would allow me such the honor. Please welcome also the MLW featherweight champion, the one and only Janai Kai. How are you, my dear?
I'm doing well, doing well. How are you?
I can't complain. We're going to talk all things about you, and so you know that I am a huge MLW fan.
Yes.
And you know that I also have my side podcast, the MLW Rewind, and we have been bigging you up since you debuted last October. And there's only a few people in pro wrestling, period, when they make these debuts, come out, get a title shot, and win the title shot opening match. And now you have successfully defended that numerous times to become the longest reigning featherweight champion of the current era. It's got to be pretty amazing to see how quick you were brought in, and they strapped that gold to you like they strapped a rocket, and you just took right off.
Yeah, I literally just came back from Japan to not knowing what was next for me, and I got that call to come through. You know, there was an opportunity. There's a mysterious opponent for me here, and surprise, surprise, I was like, you know what? I got that date open, so let me show up real quick, see what happens.
I love that. I got the date open on my calendar. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna pencil you guys in for sure. So you go in, you take on the God Queen. You have probably one of the best matches I have seen in MLW, period. You guys tear it down and you raise gold. And then you align yourself with Selena De La Renta, which is already a head scratcher because I know the Kick Demon cannot be contained. But then it was all just a work within a work within a work. And then you shocked the crap out of me and my podcast partner, Uncle Bobby B. When we saw you, okay, we saw you come around that corner, and I was like, no.
Yep.
It was like, honestly, it was like, I can't remember which movie it is. It's like Mrs. Doubtfire. The whole time. That's what it was like. It was, but
yes.
Tell me,
hello.
tell me about Contra. Tell me about, like, let's keep it kayfabe for a second. Was you being the inside man, was that it from the jump? Was that why you decided to come on through? Because you wanted to bring Contra back into MLW, or what was the deal there?
Yeah, I saw what Contra was really about, and I figured, we need to bring this back. We got some killers already, so let's put it all together again here and really take over now. Because that's what I'm really all about. It's more of my vibe anyways. So especially with now Minoru joining, if you see it as it is right there, we posted that picture, you know what's up. Like, that's perfect right there, and it's just gonna get stronger and stronger, believe it or not.
I do believe it. I believe it that this is in Mads Kruger's image, through like a phoenix rising through the ashes. Mads Kruger has come from being a foot soldier to being there's no challenge of leadership on that man's side. And I mean, bringing back Akira Kwan, bringing you in as the inside person, and then out Minoru Suzuki. I mean, a legend in the game. The four of you, who knows what else you're going to add? I got to ask this. Have there been any hints or any speculation that we may get, the father himself, if you will, Joseph Samael, to come back in the fold? I mean, not as the leader, but maybe as the mouthpiece for Contra?
We may see him back. There's always an opportunity for that. Well, we'll see. We have a lot of upcoming dates. We're going back to Tampa, and the last Tampa, you saw what Contra did there. So we coming back again with maybe another surprise. We shall see.
I like how you don't spoil it. I'm dying to get it, and I'm trying to ask those questions.
Yeah.
But you're being very good. I appreciate it. I gotta say this though. MLW, I've been a big fan of MLW for a long time. I followed them before their hiatus to coming back now, and how they've rebuilt their brand and how they've succeeded and how they keep taking that roster and refreshing it, making it new. They lose people come, people go, they gain, they lose, they go away for a bit, they come back. i.e. Matt
Mhm.
Riddle, perfect example, right? So
Yep.
when you look at the roster that it is now, compared to the long lineages of amazing wrestlers they've had come through the doors of MLW, would you say, I think this is a fair comparison, that this right now is the best roster that MLW has ever compiled in terms of just talent? Like there have always been pieces, but I think this whole roster is just talent through talent through talent.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree because we have a good mixture of talent who are still trying to make a name for themselves and are on the rise. And then we have those who have been in the game forever, who have been here before. So that mixture is perfect just to have, especially with the types of matches that we can now move forward with having like matches like that with like an upcoming like rising talent on the roster against someone who's just been here forever. So I'm excited to see where else it goes, and I am so happy to be part of that. Because me myself, I am one of those talent who are still like trying, to climb up there and really make a name for myself. And then like overall, it's like a new era. Yes, like we came out with a whole video basically saying that, like, hey, new era happening right now. Watch out.
Absolutely. And you guys are just on full steam. The PLEs have been banger after banger after banger after banger. And you have had title defense after title defense after title defense after being put in situations. It almost feels like the powers that be want to test Janai Kai. Fatal four ways, three ways, stipulation deals. All of a sudden, we got Del Exo come back to the fold, the key, Cesar Durant, the whole debacle, the whole 9 yards that was there, and then finding out that CD is Selena's father. Like just
Hmm.
crazy right now.
Yeah.
It's like a telenovela meets like an action movie meets like I don't know, just spectacular. Tell me about
Yeah.
like, are you sometimes shocked when you sit back and you watch an MLW taping and you go, Jesus Christ, I didn't even see that coming.
Yeah, like, and I'm all about, telling that story and, you never know what's gonna pop up, especially with like, a telenova or like just anything we're watching a TV show. You never know what's going to happen. And that's what makes wrestling even great, like more great. Rather than just watching matches, like what's the story behind it? What led to this? That is what makes the match even better. So the fact that MLW is all about that, obviously, and like what's going on, you guys gotta like tune in and watch right now. Like if you're not watching it right now, like you are missing out.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Seriously. If you aren't watching right now, I would put MLW as one of the three promotions right now. And I'm going to say that one of the top three promotions in terms for me, in terms of match quality, storytelling, production value has increased. The roster is fantastic. It's literally everything is clicking and it's clicking
Yeah.
in an upward trajectory where the venues are getting bigger, the ticket
Mhm.
sales are going up.
Yep.
All of a sudden, MLW isn't this little kept secret anymore. MLW is ready to explode to the point where I could see you guys packing in 10,000 seat arenas sooner than later. When you see
Yes.
that that's on the horizon, that whole roster, I used to feel like the TNA roster was a roster that had a chip on their shoulder. But now I almost feel like the MLW roster has taken that place with having that chip on the shoulder. Like we're here. If you don't see us, we're
Hmm.
going to make you see us. Is that what the
Hmm.
mentality is in that locker room?
Oh yeah, and if anything, people are watching. Like I know that for a fact. Everybody's watching MLW in a way where like they're paying attention at least to like who's coming on there. And even if they're not following the storylines, they're still like people like they come up to me and they already know like how I'm doing MLW just based off the videos, the post, the pictures, all of that, and they love to see it. So people are paying attention in that sense for sure, and they see it. They see that like MLW is really making these talents that are on the rise like more of a face for them too, and they do really well at developing them, and now they want to kind of be part of that. Like I've had some people in the indies kind of ask more about how to like get on and really make a name for themselves there because they're trying to reach that step. So yeah, I definitely see, MLW in that position right now.
Absolutely. Again, I everything that you reiterated from what I reiterated, it's bang on. It's perfect. Now I
Mhm.
want to talk about the featherweight division right now. You are at the top of the mountain. The
Mhm.
only real consecutive contender you may have right now currently is Delmy. They've
Mhm.
brought in other contenders. They brought in Miyu, who is fantastic. We also saw Jazzy Wang make her MLW
Yeah.
debut, which is awesome. That's a legacy right there. And then, of course, you got Zeta still
Mhm.
floating around. Becca, will she come back? Will she not? I don't know. The whole music deal thing with her album, I'm not sure. The album's unreleased. I'm going to tell you this right now, Janai. I believe this truthfully. I don't think the album is good at all. I think it's horrible. I think it's horrible. I
I
mean,
haven't even checked out an ounce of whatever she has released, so but I'll
don't
take your word for it.
don't do it. That summertime fun was just horrible. I put it this way: summertime fun would be what I think Contra would play when they are water torturing someone. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
I feel like this is good torture songs. Contra just maybe pitch that idea to
Ah,
Mads. Tell Mads that
yeah.
we should rock Becca while we're torturing people. That would be good.
Yeah, I guess we can promote Becca in that sense.
But you are hands down undeniable. You're undefeatable at this point. With everything going the way it's going right now, and how firmly you have that featherweight title in your grasp, do you feel like there's anyone on that roster in that featherweight division that can really compete with you with how you are firing on literally clicking on all cylinders right now?
Well, I've been telling Selena, yo, like, keep bringing in these opponents for me since you want to be the head of the featherweight division here, the whole roster. Do your job here and give me someone that actually, is some competition for me. So, with who has came through right now, there's some that I haven't faced, but they've had other matches, like on Fusion and stuff like that. And then, yeah, like Zeta is off in Japan, which is great. Stay over there.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and then Delmy, I mean, as far as I can see, that me and Delmy, that whole thing is over with. I think we've established now who's the better talent here. And yeah, I really can't think of anyone else except for maybe Miyu, who I've crossed paths with many times. If she wants to come back, because I know she went back to Japan. If she wants to come through and have, a little championship match against me, why not? I mean, I don't really see anyone else next in line except for Miyu. But again, I look for I always tell Selena, like, hey, bring in somebody that's an actual challenge for me, because you already know what's up with me. What do you got? Who's next? Um again with like Tampa coming up. I know Selena's looking for somebody because she posted looking for some talent over there, but I don't know. I don't know who over in Florida, really can face the kick demon.
There's nobody
I
that can.
I can't.
No,
I used to be down there too. I used to train down there and everything. I know who's over there.
yeah, but you
So I
also
mean, whoever wants to step up, though,
but you've beaten
by
everybody
all
over
means.
there. I know you have. I know you've beaten everybody that's over there. Listen, the one thing I love about you is that when you're in the ring and you're causing insurmountable amounts of pain and punishment, that smile that you do when they do the close up smile and we see the
Yeah.
demon come out, it is scary. And I've said it to my podcast partner Bobby B a few times. I've said I would never want to meet the kick demon in a dark alley at all because I know I would die an insurmountable amount of death. But you know what? If that's the way to go to get my head kicked clean off, that's not a bad way to go.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's very painless. It's just a one shot thing, you know?
Yeah, you just know, right? When I smile, it's over. You already
Yeah.
know what's up. Same
That's,
thing happened with Manders there.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Mander's got his head kicked off pretty bad in that
Turned
bowl.
right around and saw that smile, you knew it was over, lights out.
So, being the first lady of Contra and being someone who is in this new image, this Contra 2.0, this Mads Kruger Contra, are you guys unified in your thought process of how you want to do whatever it is you want to inflict on MLW and the wrestling world? Or is it Mads's views and everyone is just following marching orders?
It's a little bit of both, for real. As you can see, I mean, we pop up here and there, not all together. So we don't necessarily need to be all together in one place, like coming out and destroying everybody, not all the time. Like as you saw in the last match, Ikaro like came out with me and then that was it. Like it was just the two of us. So we can dominate definitely just with just like two at a time if we're going out there. And then like backstage, you seen some of the things backstage. I mean, it is what it is. If you turn the corner, you might run into one of us, maybe two of us. You never know. We like to surprise people. And that's how we like to work. We don't want to make it very obvious, that we're all just going to be together here. We definitely like to catch people by surprise. So definitely watch your back if you're ever walking around. the arena.
I like that. Take the words of the kick demon to heart. Do not literally walk out in the arena in pairs. I think everyone should go in pairs. Everyone should have a buddy, a safety buddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
MLW's always been great about having working relationships with other promotions. They're very
Mhm.
good at that. They bring in a lot of talent, international and national talent, domestic, foreign, all that stuff.
Mm.
Looking at anyone being the featherweight champion, you kind of have an influence on if you want to defend your title abroad, if you want to defend your title internationally, if you want to have an international opponent come in. Have there been any conversations, unkayfabing it now, any conversations creatively with Court Bauer and the team back there of whom might be interesting matchups for you in this current title reign that you're in right now?
Just a few. I mean, for me personally, I have expressed interest in like going back to Japan or something. So maybe like we had a relationship when we do still have a relationship with TJPW. It's just like it's a matter of like who else is going to come through. Like we of course have Miyu or me even going over there and defending the title. And then as far as like also Stardom, like they have more freedom for their talents to come over now, which I've seen, and I've even like faced some stardom talent in the past few months, and it would be cool to even work with them. And I've expressed that as well. And then of course CMLL, like having something happen there with that women's division too. So we'll see what happens. That's definitely been in the talks and of interest of me because I definitely want to go abroad again.
I love that. And I know you. You're a fighting champion. You're going to want to face
Yeah.
the best of best. You're going to want that good competition. But
Yes.
in terms of your 2024, you started off, debuted MLW in October. We've carried over. Now we're halfway through 2024.
Mhm.
Have you checked all your goal boxes for this year? Have you kind of reached certain things already and you're still striving for more? Are you never? I don't see you as a person who's ever happy with checking off a box. You're like, yeah, okay, I checked off that box, but I want to check off six
Mm.
more right away. So I know you're not you don't sleep. Sleep is for the sleep. You
Oh,
rest when you're dead.
absolutely. Like I always know there's something better out there for me. Like not saying that anything I've done isn't anything. Of course, I'm proud of myself for how far I've came. But yes, I always know there's something better and I can do better myself, but also like there's other spots out there. I'm sort of open. I look a little open. There's some opportunities that I've seen, new opportunities that I've seen open up here and there for like other talents and stuff like that. But that's where I want to keep heading towards. Just like more, just keep climbing, keep doing like other opportunities and going around and really making a name for myself.
Absolutely. And with the name, the legacy grows, the legend of
Mm.
Janai Kai grows. Have there been interest from any of the upper echelon companies? Like now that you're on TV a little bit more, the fixture is there, they can see what you can do in a title reign. Have there been interest from, because God knows that WWE and AEW, they watch MLW. Proof is in the
They
pudding of
do.
how many of their superstars
They
are on
do.
both rosters. So, knowing that MLW literally gets its bones picked every once in a while, what have there been any conversations or have there been any interest from the upper echelon companies, shall we say?
Yeah, like there has been talent from other companies, more than one company, to me, have questioned how I've been at MLW, what's going on, what's the deal here. And I let them know. But yeah, like they all watch, they know what's going on. Regardless of other trolls out there want to say anything or whatever, MLW is growing even more, and it's just like again, people are watching it. As you can see, even with like the example of Fatu leaving, not even too long after that. Where is he now? All right, enough said. But uh, yeah, you can think of many things like even for me, I see myself like already like building something here at MLW for myself, and I know that other people are seeing that too, because I have people come up to me and they're like, "Yo, you are being used the way you're supposed to be. You look strong as hell. I love the way that you've been killing it." I've gotten this recently from AEW talent, from ROH talent, telling me this when they see me. That's the first thing they tell me is just how I've been doing in MLW. So, oh yeah, like they're well aware MLW's at that spot. So Again, and it's growing. It's growing. There's a lot more plans in the book. So yeah.
I love that. Now, in terms of you, knowing that you never settle, the featherweight
Mhm,
is just another feather in the cap, literally. It's a feather in the cap. But
mhm,
Janai Kai can do so much more in MLW. I see Janai
mhm,
Kai as possibly being the first woman to enter the Battle Riot. I see Janai Kai
mhm.
being the first woman to compete in the Opera Cup tournament. When do you think we might be able to have some of these barriers crossed within the MLW landscape? Because the Opera Cup, their lineage, it's 120-year old. The amount of stars and wrestlers that have held that cup is no short of incredible. And MLW's done a great thing about bringing it back. But then, of course, you have to think too about the battle riot. I feel like Janai Kai really can go in multiple different directions if she chooses to. Have there been discussions of you crossing over? Have there been options of saying, I want to jump in that battle riot? Give me an opportunity, give me a chance.
So I'll be honest, there hasn't been really a discussion for that. But never say never can always happen, definitely. I think I guess give it some more time. Give it some more time there and it'll happen eventually. A nice little surprise. Um, I definitely would like to be part of that. I agree with you 100% on how you feel. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm definitely looking forward to it again. It's already almost she's we're in June.
Mhm.
And so like for as long as I've been here, like I already feel like I've made some like big moves, big impacts, like really made something, especially for the women's division, the featherweight division. So we'll see what happens here.
Absolutely. Listen, you, like I say, you continue to impress and you are being utilized the right way. And you're being remembered because you know the mini host, my daughter, she did the 5 question
Yeah, of
last time.
course.
Still watches wrestling, but now she's grade 9. You know, she's hip. She's into the music, hanging out with her friends. I get it.
Yeah.
Wrestling kind of falls on the wayside. She picks it back up every now and again. But my
Mhm.
youngest daughter, my 8-year-old, was sitting down with me and we were watching the anniversary show. And she saw you and she was like, Daddy, she's awesome. I'm like, right? I'm like, Daddy knows her. She's like, you're friends? I'm like, well, we're not friends. We know each other. We're acquaintances. I mean, I want to be everybody's friend. But but Janai and
Yeah.
I, we have a relationship. And I said, actually, Daddy's going to interview her. And she's like, okay, I have a question. I was like, okay. So this is a
Mhm.
question from my youngest daughter to you.
Okay.
Okay. When you kick someone, does it hurt you as much as it hurts them?
Not necessarily. No, it does not at all.
There you go. That's a question from my
Yeah.
8-year-old daughter. Does it hurt when you
Yeah.
kick them? Because it looks like they are painful.
Uh, I got some cute little foot pads on my feet, you know, they're cute little ones, not necessarily kick pads or foot pads. So,
Yes.
depending how you kick, there's a technique to it, you know, so it doesn't hurt you as much.
I like that. Okay, I'll let her know. Of course, I'll let her know not to use her feet as a weapon until she's old enough
Yeah,
to train. But yeah, I gotta keep, don't try this at home, kids. That's what we
yes, basically.
a couple more questions. I'm going to let you go enjoy your evening because I know you just got off work like myself.
Mhm.
So, when you look at accomplishments in this first year with MLW, and we are, as much as October feels so far away, it's literally only 5 months away. We're almost in July.
Yeah.
Almost in July. So, you're going to be a full year in MLW very soon. I don't know how long the contract was for. I don't know how many years it was, the stipulation was. I don't know if it was a 1 year and we'll revisit. But when it comes to accomplishments in MLW, do you feel like you have cemented your legacy within MLW? And if after October you decide maybe you want to explore other options, do you feel like you can walk away from MLW saying, I've done everything I can do? Or is there still more meat on that bone that you want to go through before you kind of
Mhm.
step away and look on other avenues?
Yeah, it's a very good question because it always runs through my mind. I look at the status of other companies too. Like I watch the other companies and I see what they got going on over there, and I really try and put myself in, like just picturing like how would I work there? How would I fit in there? And so that's basically how I go off of it, how I make my decisions when it comes to this. But we'll see, like, again, like, a year goes by so fast, man. Again, we're in June, and I feel like I definitely, again, made a nice little impact here already, but, of course, I feel like I can do more. Like I said, like, I always feel like I can do a lot better, do a lot better things. So it's all based on that, on, like, the positioning of just, like, how everything looks, you know?
I like that. So you're keeping your eyes out, you're keeping your options
Yeah.
open, you're paying attention, you're seeing what
Yeah.
avenues you may want to explore.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. And my final question. When it looks like, I mean, from where we sat down a year and a half ago, I remember that conversation. And I actually said to you how I thought you would fit into MLW so well. And I remember saying that. And then I remember you kind of snickering because I feel like it was rather close to October. And I'm not sure how
Uh,
earlier you got the call, but
mm.
was I on the money back then when I said, you would do dynamite things in MLW?
Yeah, so I believe I got the call while I was in Japan. So it was like during like August, or it was like, yeah, it's like July, August. So I think that's what it was. Yeah, that's why I think you're like right, definitely right on the money because they definitely hit me up before I got back. So
I'm not saying, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying I have a, sixth sense about these things, but I have a sixth sense about these things. I knew it was. My dear, this has been an absolute blast. We could chop it up for hours and all that, but another kind of bonus question, if you could, when you look at your career, the ups and downs, the peaks and valleys, some of the mental struggles you went through with that severe injury you had, and then fighting your way back to where you are now, and kind of being the best version of yourself at this moment in time, do you regret in any way any paths you might have taken, or do you regret the fact that you had to kind of heal to come back even better, like that little staying power where you were away from wrestling for a little bit, it got you to be that stronger, tougher version
Mm.
that we see now in that ring every time you go in that ring?
No, yeah, I don't regret it at all, especially because when that injury happened, basically COVID started. So it was kind of like a nice little break for everybody involved in wrestling. And I was able to just relax even more because I was kind of uh concerned with like the status of like how my career was going to be. Oh, people are going to forget about me type thinking. And it's a neck injury too, so you never know how you are actually going to feel or how you're actually going to recover from it. So I again, like I try to keep a positive mindset, but overall, like I don't regret what has happened because it's made me learn more about myself, like personally in my personal life. And then again, COVID happened, so there was more time to just take a breather. I moved back home, and I'm glad I moved back home because it moved back to DC because that actually helped with my career, like traveling wise, putting my name out there more, like just going to more shows rather than where I was at, which was Florida, which was harder to travel out and stuff like that. So I think I don't regret it at all. Like it's definitely helped. It's definitely boosted up since then.
I love that. It absolutely has. And I know for a fact the sky is the limit. You are hands down one of my favorite people to watch, my favorite people to conversate with, and one of the people that scares the bejesus out of me. I adore you. But like I said, when you smile, that smile, and it's not the smile that you're smiling right now. We know the smile that we're talking about. That's the smile that haunts a lot of people's dreams.
Yes, indeed. That's the goal.
I love it. Janai Kai, as always, this is a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time out for me on this one. I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see what goes on the next couple of months because you kept mentioning a lot of surprises, but you wouldn't give away a surprise, but you mentioned surprises. So
Mhm. Mhm.
there it is. Just the that's it. All right,
Mhm.
guys, that's it from this one. For me and my good friend Janai Kai. Peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you guys next week. Peace. Thank you so much for checking out our channel. If you like what you saw today, please feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss any of our future videos and content. Also, you could follow us on all social media platforms, on X at _Straight Talk, on Facebook and Instagram at Straight Talk Wrestling, on TikTok at Straight_Talk_Wrestling. And of course, you could follow us on Podbean. And you could check us out on Sunday Night Main Events, Free Feed, and Patreon. Thank you.